Gershwin of Carpooling with Ben, downtown Providence, down city, however you want to say it. We're in Providence, and I'm so honored. I have the founder of FirstWorks, which was founded in 2004, Kathleen Pletcher. Thank you so much for joining me in the car today.
This is such fun.
I know, a
This
brisk
is a
day.
treat.
Brisk day to be wearing a short sleeve shirt. We're cruising through lovely downtown Providence here. And you guys at FirstWorks, I mean, talk about a world-class organization. We have so many of them in the state of Rhode Island. You guys, 2004, you're a teenager.
I
compared
know,
to
14, we're 14 years old.
I know.
Wow.
How's it going? And tell me what's going on. What's new at FirstWorks?
Well, it's amazing. And what we do performances, we do arts learning, we do PVD Fest in the summer.
Yeah.
But what we have coming up next is Gershwin. And in my head are all these songs, not holiday songs, but all these songs like I've Got Rhythm and The Man I Love. And we're just all humming Gershwin at the office because we have this artistic icon series that FirstWorks does at the Vets. And in February, we are bringing American Rhapsody, the Gershwin Songbook.
Wow.
So this is music that everybody loves. George Gershwin, people know from Porgy and Bess and Rhapsody in Blue, but he did Hollywood and Broadway. And the concert that we're doing is something the Gershwin family put together. So it's really unique. They put together a 17-piece big band.
Wow.
Along with Michael Andrew, who is the next Harry Connick Jr.
Okay.
And it's just going to be a wild night and part of our arts education program.
That's excellent.
And just such good music. So we're really excited.
You mentioned the arts education program, and I want to talk about that because aside from, your performances and the PVD Fest, everything, they're legendary. Even that you guys have only been around for 13, 14 years, the work you have done truly is incredible. But what I love about it is you also teach and offer the education format. Talk to me about what you're doing and how it works.
Yeah, so we reach into over 30 schools across Rhode Island.
Wow.
We're based in the creative capital, based right in the heart of Providence, but it's a small state, and that's part of its beauty, is that you can just reach across and knit people together with firsts in the arts.
Yeah.
And we do an education program that means every artist we bring, if people are coming to see a performance, they're also connecting with schools.
Yeah.
And a really cool thing is no matter how famous the performer is, they love those moments.
Sure.
You get somebody like Roseanne Cash, who is, everywhere. Johnny Cash's daughter, she has her own career, but when she talks to our arts learning students, she's like, this is amazing. Because the kids are really, they're hungry, they're interested.
Sure.
We do teacher training, so their teachers have been working with them in the classroom, and they are just ready to have a really meaningful conversation with somebody like Roseanne Cash or Wynton Marsalis,
You guys
the
have brought
big
in,
names.
lots of big names, and if somebody's not too familiar with the arts, a name they might recognize, Yo-Yo Ma.
Yeah.
You guys have done work with it. And who else? That people may. What are some of the other names?
Well,
let's drop names here. More people we can.
But wait, let's start with Yo-Yo Ma.
Okay.
Because Yo-Yo Ma really in 2009 started our education program, and he is also so immediate and down to earth.
Sure.
And this is a perfect example of somebody who is huge. But not only did a performance, we worked together for 6 months in Central Falls and Pawtucket and Woonsocket and
great.
Providence, and really reached kids with musicians from all over the world that he puts together. And then he came with his group and performed just for the kids in FirstWorks Arts Learning.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
And a person like him, think about it. Growing up, we saw him on Sesame Street. We saw him. So, this is not something that's foreign to him to be working with children and education.
But it's our Rhode Island kids.
It's a Rhode Island thing. And not only that, but with your organization, listen, we know that the school teachers, whether it be public school, private school, whatever, they are so maxed out with their workload that to be able to foster those kind of relationships, it can't happen, just not for lack they don't want it to happen. It's just because they don't have the time. They don't, and the resources.
And we know whether kids are going to grow up to be in the arts or be in the sciences or whatever they do, that idea of how you think, how you collaborate, how you solve problems, how you express yourself, how you value your own ideas. All of that is what arts education gives you. So you were saying who else, and talking about
right,
Sesame
yeah,
Street.
let's drop some more names.
So Savion Glover, the tap dancer.
Yes, of course.
So he was big on Sesame Street. He has an incredible education program of his own. A lot of times artists who have really achieved things, they want to give back, they want to make a difference, and came and talked with kids, really communicated about what does sound mean. And actually we have a program that reaches students with disabilities. Rhode Island School for the Deaf came. He had kids come and have their hands on the stage while they tap danced.
That's interesting.
And it was just really like everybody included, talking with each other. We love to start our student matinees. We do student matinees, and in fact, Gershwin in February has a student matinee that teachers and students can come to during the day.
Okay, great.
But we love to begin and say, who do we have here from Central Falls? And we get like hundreds of kids roaring. And who do we have here from Pawtucket? And then we usually say Providence for last, because the Providence contingent here is the very biggest. So you get a couple thousand kids.
Very theatrical. I like that.
It's great. It's great. And it's just that moment where the energy is like this.
Oh, you got to bring it. You got to bring it every time.
Yeah.
So the event that's happening in February, if people want to learn more information about that, where should they be going?
They should go to first-works.org.
Okay.
So there's a hyphen in there between first and works.
Okay,
but
important.
our website has, you can listen to it, you can preview it. It's American Rhapsody, the Gershwin Songbook, on February 22nd. And there's a daytime student matinee as part of FirstWorks Arts Learning, and an evening concert. We have friends and family 4-packs and student discounts, and for people who want the full experience, we have a speakeasy premium ticket.
All right.
So Gershwin went, the jazz age, speakeasies, flappers. He really bridged a bunch of incredible kind of time periods with dance and music. And like I said, he didn't live that long.
Okay.
He died when he was in his 30s.
Oh, all right.
But he and Ira Gershwin, Broadway, Hollywood.
Sure.
The cool thing about this production too is that even people who have like, I've got all this Gershwin, I've got records, I've got CDs, going back forever, are hearing songs they've never heard before.
Wow,
So,
great.
it's kind of all sorts of treasures.
Well, the cool thing is too is this episode comes out just a few days before Christmas, so people can go online and buy tickets if they want to give it as a Christmas gift or a gift to anyone really for any reason. But also after the fact, if you're watching this, go online, because this is more than just a fun night out. This is a night about education. This is a night about just a trip down memory lane for some people. I mean, talk about bridging generations.
So it's romance. It happens in February, and it's a very romantic evening.
Memo to Mrs. DeCastro.
But
that's where we may be going.
Aha! Oh, how cool!
Well, I gotta take the wife.
And
show her a
that
good
would be
time.
very nice.
I depend on arts organizations just like you to make me look like a classy guy.
Well, there you go. It's going to be a very classy evening, big band music. But, I think also for families where you think, well, what generation has been introduced to George Gershwin? And yet we hear the music all the time.
Absolutely.
Summertime.
Yeah.
It's like, just songs that are indelible, unforgettable.
Yeah.
But this is where they came from. They came from one genius.
Yeah.
And I just love that the families put it together. Todd Gershwin, he has produced this along with the lead singer. So a lot of hands-on, tender, loving care. for
So
this.
great.
And if you go to first-works.org, you also can learn about the rest of our season. We have a whole series called the Frontier Series with international artists in different venues around town that are coming from Central Asia or really wild hybrid digital analog technology theater that's
'cause
coming from Chicago. So
Your arts are so, like, you just not dance, you're not just music, you're not just, it's such a wide breadth of what you folks do. And sometimes your performances aren't just like this one here in February. Sometimes it can be you're appearing at a party or a corporate event or some kind of inclusion, because you just span so many different things.
yeah, well, we really are about unique experiences and discovery. And so Gershwin's a little unique for us
Sure.
in that there's this historic piece nearly a century
It's
later.
actually more traditional than what you typically do.
Than some of the cutting edge stuff. But, I think the other thing is we're driving around and looking at buildings like One Financial Plaza.
Sure.
We love to curate experiences like Bandaloop, the dancers hanging off the building,
Okay, yeah.
that was part of PVD Fest, and just to bring things from all over the world that otherwise wouldn't come to Providence.
That's so awesome.
And thinking about the education stuff, you think, well, yeah, music, sure, kids are going to love music, and tap dance, of course. But last year we had an auditorium full of kids who came for Paul Taylor Dance Company, who is America's greatest choreographer in his 80s now, live orchestra. And it was an amazing matinee, but the really amazing thing at the end of it was people were like, just imagine, we just had 1,900 kids, and this was a program of live Bach and dance, and they were spellbound.
That's so
you
great.
know. So
What you guys do is, I mean, it's really unique. If people want to learn more, really go to the website, because your programming goes year round.
it does.
And let's face it, I mean, we still, if you're watching this between Christmas and New Year's, maybe you were a little busy, you didn't catch this the day it came out, and you're thinking, gee, I want to get one more donation in before the end of the year, really help that.
Oh, my hero!
I know.
my
I mean,
hero.
I try to help. I'm looking out for the good of the people, and really, I mean, let's help
Well, of
out
course,
TurboTax and H&R Block, everybody all together. But I mean, if people want to make a donation and support the great work you're doing, where can they do that as well?
They can do that at first-works.org, and it's all about world-class arts that build community.
That's so
This
great.
is whether it's kids, whether it's the creative capital, whether it's bringing us together, whether it is really opening minds with new experiences, or artists you used to have to go to Boston or New York to see, but
Sure.
you can see right here,
So amazing.
And people come from Boston and New York.
Well, it's a great place to come down. Come see the show on the 22nd of February. Come check out the other things that are happening. Dine at our great restaurants around here. I mean, really, it's the creative capital, also the food capital. I know
and
firsthand.
food and the arts go so hand in hand. And you were talking about gifts.
I often like to eat while I watch arts. Yes, they
but
do
not
go-
while you drive.
No. It's hands on the wheel, mind on the moment kind of stuff.
But when I think of gifts, my kids were like, we want your list for Christmas. And I'm like thinking more what I'm giving them. But experiences, you know.
It's very true. It's
At,
huge
at
to
a
them,
certain
yes.
point, that is like what you remember, what's unique, what you share.
Right.
And so we love that. That's why we have this friends and family 4-pack kind of way that you can share the experience, and that you can the Frontier series, you can buy the series and get one free, and you can gift it.
That's great.
So I
That's
think
so
it's
awesome.
a great thing to share. And we have also, after our performances, questions for the car ride home. Speaking of cars.
All right. Well, maybe.
So you keep
maybe
talking.
Maybe we'll have to, one day do one of these car ride homes live
After the show.
After the show.
We could put one of the performers in the back.
There we go.
We could say, how
Buckled
did it
in,
go?
of course. Not using like the suspension or the Lyra or anything like that. No. Buckle in, safety first, of course. First-works.org. You can go to the website, find you guys on Facebook, and subscribe and follow along, because truly what you guys are bringing to Rhode Island, and in southern New England truly is something so special and so well needed, and it's great to support the arts, whether you're young or old. Folks, come out, check it out. You're not going to be disappointed. It's going to be amazing. Kathleen, thank you for coming for a ride with me through beautiful downtown Providence here.
It's been a pleasure.
I'm glad you've enjoyed it. I think maybe we should just forget dropping you back at the office. Go get some food or something.
Let's put on some music.
All right, okay.
Let's put on some music. I've got rhythm, you
Fantastic.
know. Enjoy ourselves.
Oh man, trouble, I don't mind him. You won't find him hanging around my door.